What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Bama Lounge podcast. This is the reaction and recap show. This was the Ole Miss game, guys. I'm gonna get right into it. Obviously, I want you guys to hit the like, hit the subscribe, but I'm gonna get right into this. We're gonna try to keep it to 10 minutes or so. But it's the Ole Miss and Bama game from October the 2nd. I kind of did a little prediction show the other day, and we thought it was going to be a little more high scoring than this, but it wasn't. Alabama wins the game 42-21. Couple of things I want to talk about first. First, Bryce Young did what Bryce Young does. 20 for 26, 241, two touchdowns. Did throw a pick where I didn't agree. The throw, it wasn't a good throw. He probably could have ran for positive yardage. People are asking too. I've seen it on Twitter why he doesn't run more. He come out and said he doesn't like to run, but liking to run and needing to run are two different things. So I do think that there are some situations where Bryce Young can use his legs to get positive yardage instead of taking a sack or making an errant throw. Both of his interceptions this year are on plays where he probably could have ran the ball, and instead he didn't and scrambled and forced to throw. The first pick of the year for him to Jameson Williams was really his fault, but this one tonight in the Ole Miss game was Bryce's fault. Um, you know, something else here, which was insane to think about. Ole Miss came into this game, guys, as the number one offense in the country. I mean, they're rushing the ball for 300 yards, throwing it for 300 yards, and tonight they had 291 yards of total offense. They had 78 rushing yards and 213 passing yards. And a lot of that came in the fourth quarter. And I'm not going to say garbage time, but it kind of was. I mean, the game was over at halftime. But, I wish we would have kept putting the pedal to the metal. The defense played outstanding today. It looked like the defense of old, where, I tweeted out a bunch of different things during this game. Will Anderson, guys, is just a freaking animal. And I put a tweet out that said, saying it now, Will Anderson will be a future first round draft pick. And come at me if you think I'm wrong, but I just feel like this guy is on another level. He was a freshman last year and killed it. He is on a tear this year. But I was so uh, not surprised. I was ecstatic, honestly, on how well the defense played in this game, minus the fourth quarter. Saban just said in his interview after the game, we made some mistakes late. When we went, maybe we should have punted on that, 4th and 1 at the 50. I don't agree with that. I mean, 9 times out of 10, we get that. And that's another thing to talk about in this was fourth down conversions. Lane Kiffin, he said before the game, get your popcorn ready. Well, I hope you like popcorn, brother, because, there wasn't any popcorn on your side. All of us Bama fans should be eating the popcorn tonight. But fourth down efficiency, Ole Miss was 2 for 5. Alabama was 3 for 4. So the one that we didn't get, obviously, was fourth quarter, 4th and 1 on the 50. But Lane Kiffin went for it at weird spots of the field. I mean, that's him. And look, guys, when Kiffin was our offensive coordinator, he was great. He's a great offensive-minded coach. You can still tell with this Ole Miss team, the defense is still not – they're better. They are 100% better this year than they were last year when we played them under Kiffin. But they got a lot of work to do. And I said this in my prediction show, that Ole Miss hasn't played anybody like Alabama yet. So it was going to be a tough match. I thought for both teams, we kind of thought it was going to be that back and forth style like it was last year. I mean, hell, the over under was 80. I hope nobody took the over. I even said that. I think I said to take the over. So I apologize if somebody listened to this and took the over. Totally my fault. But the most shocking and surprising and ecstatic feeling stat for me tonight in this game was the defense holding them to under 300 yards of total offense. I mean, they were firing on all cylinders. Jalen Armour Davis gave up some plays, and had a couple of penalties. But Jordan Battle was great tonight. The D line was great. I'm going to say a name, and I'm going to say Drew Sanders has stepped up, and since I think it's Christopher Allen went out, he has stepped up on that outside rushing linebacker and played so well. He's in the backfield. He's making tackles. If he's missing a tackles, he's at least slowing it down to where we can make tackles. It was impressive tonight. It felt, like I said, it felt like the Alabama defense of old. Offense, it's still been the same. There's not much, it was the same kind of thing. We didn't spray the ball around a lot on offense, but here's another thing I want to touch on. Brian Robinson, have a gosh darn day, brother. 36 carries, 171 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And I put a tweet out and I said, I want Brian Robinson to run all over these guys. And he did. He did a great job today. I mean, 4 touchdowns, career high, 171 yards. I'm not sure if that's a career high or not. 36 carries. I mean, that's Derrick Henry-esque at Alabama with the amount of carries he's getting, with the yardage. It was really good to see that. And the running game played into a part by the way the defense that Ole Miss runs. They run a weird 3-2-6. So it sets it up to make you kind of run the ball, and they play 6 back. It was a weird defense. Bryce still found ways to get the ball to receivers and make plays. It wasn't like, oh my God, all those deep bombs and that we're used to seeing. But Mechie caught a touchdown. Cameron Letu caught a touchdown. Jamison Williams, thank you, Ohio State, you freaking morons, for giving us Jamison Williams. Jay Will, I'm going to start calling him Jay Will. He has been a huge factor in our offense, and not just in our offense, in our special teams game on kickoffs. He's not returning punts. JoJo Earl's returning punts, which I'm glad to see that. JoJo's needs to get a little more experience and things. But Jamison Williams is a playmaker, guys, a big-time playmaker. And I don't know how he didn't touch the field in Ohio State, but thank you very much for him. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, he had 5 receptions for 65 yards today, but it wasn't like the last couple of weeks. I mean, hell, he only had 1 reception last week for 81 yards and a touchdown, but he returned 2 kicks. He's a playmaker. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I love John Mechie to death. John Mechie is one of my favorite players on this team, but Jamison Williams is kind of, to me, in my opinion, becoming the number 1 receiver on this team. You got Slade Bolden in the slots. We've got, obviously, the recruiting class we signed, and John Mechie, Cameron Letu, Billingsley. I have a weird feeling that Jamison Williams is going to take the number 1 spot and run with it right now. And I'm fine with that. A win is a win. I don't care where we get the ball to on offense. A win is a win. And he had a great game today. Again, 451 yards of total offense for Alabama today, 291 yards for Ole Miss. Another thing, what I said in the prediction show was we need to get the defense off the field and control the clock. Insert time of possession for this game. 22 minutes for Ole Miss, 38 minutes for Alabama. So we held the ball for 16 more minutes, which is over a quarter. So they did their job there. First downs, same thing. We had 27, they had 18. Yards per rush. I mean, it's just statistics. 2.3 for Ole Miss, 4.2 for Alabama. I mean, it was just crazy to think, because everybody came into this game. By the way, we were favored by 15. We still did cover the spread. So if you bet on the spread, congratulations, because you won. We won by 21, obviously. But it was crazy to think in this game, we thought it was going to be that, like I said, that back and forth, big scoring game. And it was a big scoring game for us, 42 points. That's not bad. If the Bama of old, 10, 12, 15 years ago, If we would have scored 42 points, it wouldn't have even been close because of that defense. But again, that defense showed up tonight, and they played like the defense of old, the defense that we know they can be. They're still giving up some stupid plays, and that's going to happen. Everybody, we can't stop a team every single drive. There's going to be times where teams score, and we can't get pissed off about that. The same thing for us on offense. We're not going to score the ball every time, guys. And I see tweets sometimes about, oh my God, we didn't score. But, we had 10 possessions and only scored 7 times. I'll take it. A win is a win. And tonight they did that. So, Ole Miss came in ranked number 12. I still think they're a great team. I think Matt Corral's a good quarterback. I just think today that defense on the Alabama side, they couldn't get their running game established, which doesn't let Matt Corral set up in the pocket and do some things that he can do. He still got his, though. I mean, he got 213. He was 21 for 29, 213 and 1. I mean, he had a decent game. The problem is that they didn't do what they typically did on offense, and that was because of the Alabama defense. So I am 100% ready for this team to just keep going, run the table. Got a big game next week against Texas A&M, which in my eyes, I think Ole Miss is better than A&M offensively. I think defensively A&M's a little bit better, but we'll get into that. I'll have a preview show out probably, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday of next week to kind of go over this upcoming game with A&M. But again, Alabama wins 42-21 against Ole Miss, and didn't really even feel like it was in any doubt for us tonight, which is always a great feeling. Everybody gets nervous. I was nervous before this game, but in the end, a win's a win. Bama wins. It was a great win, and we look ahead now to Texas A&M. If you guys like the videos, I'm kind of trying to keep them shorter for everybody instead of these 45-minute to hour longs that we do. Blake will probably come in and do a couple as well. But if you guys are liking this, please, please, please go over to the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, send us some comments. We'll respond to them. If you guys got things you want us to talk about, let us know. We'll do it. We appreciate you guys so much. You don't understand how much we appreciate you guys and the support of this show. And, it's great to talk about Alabama. Always great to talk about Alabama. But you guys got to remember one thing. Roll damn Tide.